Good morning, students. Today we are going to see genic interaction. Or interaction of genes. The meaning and definition of this one is expression of a single character if it is under controlled by the interaction of more than one pair of genes. The expression of a character is influenced by interaction of more than one pair of genes. More than one pair of genes. That is known as a genic interaction or interaction of genes. Bateson and Punnett they proposed a theory in the name of factor hypothesis. To explain about genic interaction. The main concept of factor hypothesis here is some characters are expressed by the interaction of more than one pair of genes. So this is the main concept that was given by Bateson and Punnett in their factor hypothesis. The important thing here is some characters are there for their expression. They need interaction of more than one pair of genes. Then only such characters are developed in the organism. Okay. Gregor Johann Mendel, we believed him as a father of genetics. He proposed law of dominance and law of segregation and law of independent assortment. And also he gave some ratios. 9:3:3:1. That will be the phenotypic ratio of dihybrid experiment. Of dihybrid experiment. That is, in the F2 generation, the organisms or individuals or plants which are generated in the F2 generation in the experiments conducted by the Gregor Johann Mendel, he found that 9:3:3:1 will be the ratio, that is phenotypic ratio in all the time. But later, same kinds of experiments were done by Bateson and Punnett. They found that instead of 9 is to 3 is to 3 is to 1, they got some 9 is to 7, 13 is to 3, 9 is to 3 is to 4, 15 is to 1, etc. as a phenotypic ratio of F2 generation of diabetic cross instead of 9 is to 3 is to 3 is to 1 that was given by Gregor Johann Mendel. And finally, these two scientists are saying that the main reason for getting that new phenotypic ratios are due to the genic interaction or interaction of genes. Okay, and finally, Bateson and Punnett they tried to explain about genic interaction by proposing a factor hypothesis. And again, this genic interaction also may be of two kinds. One is a non-allelic genic interaction. The second one is allelic genic interaction. A non-allelic genic interaction here, the interaction between genes located at different locus of same chromosome or different chromosomes. Means an interaction is made among the genes which are located on different locus of same chromosome or maybe different chromosomes. So what is this? We will see now. You imagine this may be the chromosome. On it, this one, this one, this one, this one, called as a locus. Inside it, there will be so many genes are here. So these are said to be genes. And one more other chromosome is also here. Chromosome. On it also different locus are there. Within a locus, there will be numerous numbers of genes. Now here we are seeing the interaction of genes. The interaction of genes, the process is made in between the genes of different loci of a same chromosome or different chromosome. So that is said to be a non-allelic genic interaction. Simply here we are seeing interaction of genes which are located in different locus of same chromosome or different chromosome. That is said to be a non-allelic. I mean, the gene here that may be interacted with this gene which is located on another locus. It may be the same chromosome, or the gene present in this locus may be interacted with the gene of the other locus of other chromosome. So that interaction is also said to be non-allelic genic interaction. And once again, all the students, you please listen carefully here. The interaction is made between the genes which are located in different locus. So here is a gene, here is a gene, here is a gene. This one, this one, this one. There are so many locus are here. Interaction between genes. The gene of this locus may be interacted with the gene of this locus. Both locus may be belong to same chromosome or maybe belong to the different chromosome. So that kind of interaction is said to be non-allelic genic interaction. For non-allelic genic interaction, what are the examples are here? Number one is complementary genes. Supplementary genes. Epistatis. Duplicate genes. So all these four will come under non-allelic genic interaction. Now come to the allelic genic interaction. Here interaction is occur in between the genes which are located in the same locus of same chromosome. Okay, I think so. This may be the locus. The whole structure is said to be locus. Inside it, which one is there? Genes are there. This gene may be interacted with this. This gene may be interacted with this. And then interaction may be made between the genes which are located in a single or same locus. Okay, that is said to be allelic genic interaction. So what are the examples for allelic genic interaction? Here is codominance, incomplete dominance, polygenes, multiple genes, pleiotropic genes, blending inheritance pattern, etc. All will come as a example for allelic genic interaction. Now we will see one by one. Non-allelic gene interaction. Here is number one is complementary genes. Here, two or more than two dominant non-allelic genes. They are interacting in a such way to produce a character. But in the absence of any one dominant gene, the remaining other dominant gene is unable to produce that character. Okay. Complementary genes is nothing but two or more than two dominant genes. They are interacting in a such way to produce a character. absence of any one, the remaining other dominant gene is unable to produce that character. That is said to be complementary genes. Okay. Good example for this complementary genes is Lathyrus odoratus. Okay, that is sweet pea plant taken by Bateson and Punnett. So these two fellows, these two scientists, chosen Lathyrus odoratus for their experimentation. Here, especially flower color, there are two varieties of flower colors are here. One is red color flower, other one is white color flower. Okay. So what was the biochemical process for the production of this color in this? We will see now. Simply here is anthocyanin is there. Anthocyanin, if that pigment is there, that immediately produce a red color flower. Okay. Now there are two different dominant non-allelic genes are there. They complement with each other, and finally they produce a character. So that was the definition for the complementary genes. Already we learned about it. Now dominant gene, capital C is there. That capital C dominant gene produces a chromogen. Okay, that chromogen is a substance. Now one more other dominant gene is there, a non-allelic dominant gene, capital A. That gene produces an enzyme or activator. Okay. In the absence of enzyme or activator, that chromogen is not able to produce anthocyanin. Hence, flowers do not get red color. Means for the production of anthocyanin, both chromogen and enzyme both are needed. So, chromogen in the presence of enzyme or activator, it converted to anthocyanin. Anthocyanin is a color pigment that immediately produces color. Colored flower. That is red color. Red color always will be given by the anthocyanin only. Anthocyanin is developed by a chromogen. In the presence of enzyme or activator, the chromogen is converted to anthocyanin. Now here chromogen production is itself under controlled by the dominant gene capital C. If dominant gene capital C is available, then only chromogen will develop. In the absence of dominant gene A, chromogen do not be converted into anthocyanin and not able to produce that red colored flower. For example, dominant gene capital A is alone present that can able to produce enzyme and activator only, but in the absence of chromogen, enzyme do not produce that anthocyanin. In this case also, the red color flowers are not developed in them. Means for the production of red color, they need anthocyanin. For the production of anthocyanin, they need both chromogen plus enzyme. Means they need the dominant gene capital C and the dominant gene capital A. Both are needed for the production of this anthocyanin. Then only they produce us that red colored flower. I mean, here interaction of genes are occur. Here interaction of genes is occurring. These two dominant genes are belong to non-allelic genes. So there is an interaction that may be made in between two different non-allelic dominant genes. They interact in a such way they produce a character. Here, what will be the character here? The producing red color flower. In the absence of any one, the remaining one dominant gene is not able to produce that character. That character means here is the red color flowers are not going to be developed in the absence of any one dominant. The other dominant gene is not able to produce that color. Okay. Now we will see here white flower Lathyrus odoratus sweet pea plant is crossed with again white flower Lathyrus odoratus sweet pea plant. In F1 generation, they got red flowered plants. To produce F2 generation, they selected two plants from F1 generation and made self-crossing between or among them, and finally they got F2 individuals. F2 individuals are having two kinds of phenotypes. They are red and white flowers. Here, red flower are 9 in number, white flowers are 7 in number. They got 9:7 as a phenotypic ratio of F2 generation. This is totally different. This is totally different compared with the phenotypic ratio of dihybrid cross that was given by Mendel, that is 9:3:3:1. Okay, so what will be the reason behind it to develop 9:7? We will see now. Simply, Bateson and Punnett, they took this Lathyrus odoratus and crossed among them. Chustam. Here is white flower Lathyrus odoratus sweet pea plant is now crossed with same white flower Lathyrus odoratus sweet pea plant. This one can be treated as a parental generation. And what will be their genotypes? That is capital C, small a, small a. Here is a small a, here is a small c, capital A is there. Here only one dominant gene is there, capital C, that able to produce chromogen. But small a is unable to produce enzyme. Hence, in the absence of enzyme, that chromogen, a substance, do not be converted to anthocyanin. Hence, automatically they do not develop red color flower. You have to remember here. Now here also only one dominant capital A gene is there, non-allelic dominant gene capital A is alone there. Small c other gene is there. Small c gene is not able to produce chromogen, but capital A dominant non-allelic gene alone produces enzyme. Presence of enzyme lonely not able to produce that anthocyanin because substance that is chromogen is not developed in this plant due to the recessive gene for that chromogen. Okay, from it this is known as a genotypes. Now from it capital C small a gamete is going to develop. Here is small c capital A genotype is going to be developed. So you imagine it may be a male plant, it may be a female plant, then these two are said to be gametes. These two gametes are fused together to produce F1 individuals. So like this, capital C, small c, capital A, small a, all are said to be F1 plants. You imagine here, there are two non-allelic dominant genes are there. One capital C dominant is there. One capital C dominant non-allelic gene is available here that produce chromogen as usually. The other capital A dominant non-allelic gene is also available here that also produces enzyme or activator. So means in the presence of enzyme, the chromogen is immediately converted into anthocyanin. So anthocyanin immediately produces red colored flowers for them. So all F1 plants are into red colored flowers. Okay. To produce F2 generation, we have to select two plants from F1 generation and made self-crossing between them. Finally, capital C, small c, capital C, small c, capital A, small a, capital C, small c, capital A, small a. You please observe in what way gametes are going to develop from them. So this capital C gene is connected with capital A gene. So to develop capital C, capital A kind of gamete, the same capital C gene is capable to connected with small a of other gene to produce capital C small a. So that combination also going to develop. Now small c capital A. So that also other type of gamete. This small c small a, one more other kind of gametes are going to develop. It may be a female plant, it may be a male plant. If we imagine, same kinds of gametes are also going to be developed for this plant also because both are having same kind of genotype. Now, when we arrange them in the Punnett square, we can easily observe what kinds of combinations are going to be developed, how many phenotypes are also going to be developed, can be easily understood. Okay. Now, this is the Punnett square. In this direction, simply we are keeping male gametes. In this direction, we are giving female gametes. What are the gametes? Capital C, capital A, capital C, small c, capital A, small c, small a. Now here, capital C, capital A, capital C, small c, capital A, small c, small a gamete. Always gametes should be within a circle. Okay. This female gamete has a chance to combine with this one, with this one, with this one, with this one, and finally this alone can able to produce 4 combinations. So like this, capital C, capital C, capital C, capital C, capital A will develop. Capital C, capital C, capital A, small a, capital C, small c, capital A, capital C, small c, capital A, small a. Now this one and this one, capital C, capital C, capital A, small a, capital C, small a, small a. Now capital C, small c, capital A, small a, capital C, small c, small a, small a. Now this one with this one. So capital C, small c, capital A, capital A. Capital C, small c, capital A, small a. Small c, capital A, capital A. Small c, capital A, small a. Now this one with this one. Now capital C, small c, capital A, small a. Capital C, small a, small a. Now small c, capital A, small a. Small c, small a, small a. What will be the phenotypes? Here, presence of two kinds of dominant and non-allylic genes. They can able to interact in a such way they produce anthocyanin. Automatically, anthocyanin pigment gives red color to the flower. Hence, red, red, red. Here, red, red. Here, only capital C dominant gene is there. It can able to produce just chromogen only. But small a gene is not able to produce enzyme or activator. Hence, chromogen do not be converted into anthocyanin in the absence of enzyme or factor. Hence, it will become white. Okay. Now here is red, white, red, red. Here enzyme capital A dominant non-allylic gene is available, hence enzyme will develop. But chromogen do not be developed here, hence that also produces white. White. Now this one is red, white, white, white. Phenotypes. You simply write down phenotypes. How many phenotypes are developed in F2 generation? There are two kinds only. One may be red, other one is white. Red colored flower Lathyrus odoratus plants, white colored flower odoratus Lathyrus odoratus plants. How many are with red? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 9 will be there. How many are with white? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there will be 7. Okay. Here the phenotypic ratio that always will be 9:7. You please remember that is totally different from the phenotypic ratio that was given by Gregor Johann Mendel through his dihybrid experiment, that is 9:3:3:1. Here, what was the reason behind it? Means Bateson and Punnett are saying that there will be interaction of genes. That was the main reason for developing 9:7 ratio instead of 9:3:3:1. Okay, and at the same time, capital C, capital A combinations. They are always 9 out of 16 will produce red colored flower. Now, small c capital A or small c capital A, these 3 out of 16 they become white. Capital C versus small a. So they also will be 3 out of 16 that also produce white colored flowers, and small a that always 1 out of 16 also will produce white colored flower. Okay, so this is the phenotypic ratio we are getting here 9:7. This is totally different compared with the phenotypic ratio of dihybrid experiment that was done by the Gregor Johann Mendel and identified by him as a 9:3:1. Here we are simply getting a 9:7, that is due to the interaction of non-allelic genic interaction, especially complementary genes. Okay. The second one is supplementary. Supplementary genes. Supplementary genes, the definition for this one is here two independent dominant genes interact in a such a way that each dominant gene produces its effect whether the other gene is present or not. But when the second dominant gene is added to the first dominant gene, a new character is going to be developed. That is said to be supplementary genes. Here, there are two independent dominant genes are interacting in a such a way, and these two independent dominant genes shows their effect whether the other one is present or absent. But the second dominant gene is added to the first dominant gene, automatically a new character is going to be developed. That is the supplementary genes. Bateson and Punnett in the year 1908, they discovered the inheritance pattern of Coombe in fowls. Okay, here there are rose comb, pea comb, walnut comb, single comb. So there are four variety of combs are seen in the poultry. Rose comb is controlled by a dominant gene, capital R, capital R. P kind of comb is controlled by a dominant gene, a capital P, capital P. Walnut comb, that is developed by the interaction of these two dominant non-allelic genes. That is capital R, capital R, capital P, capital P. Single comb is going to develop whenever presence of homozygous recessive genotype for the above two dominant genes. That is small p alone produces the single comb. Okay. Now here is they made a cross in between rose comb fowl is crossed with the pea comb fowl. They are said to be parental generation. A rose comb is having capital R, small p as a genotype. Here, small r, capital P, that will be the genotype for the P comb. These two are said to be genotypes. From them, capital R, small p, a gamete will develop. Other gamete is with small r, capital P. You imagine it may be the female bird, it may be the male bird. These two are said to be gametes. In F1 generation, these two gametes are going to be developed to produce F1 generation. So capital R combines with small r, capital P combines with small p. So here availability of two dominant genes are here. They are going to be interact in a such way they produce a new character. Here what will be the new character? Walnut comb. That is going to be developed. That will be the new character that was developed by interaction of two dominant genes. Again, to produce F2 generation, two organisms are selected from F1 generation and made a cross among them to produce F2 generation. Means we have to select F1 individuals, capital R, capital P, small p is now going to be crossed with capital R, capital P, small p. These are said to be F1 individuals. Now we are taking them as a parents for the production of F2 generation. So this is a walnut comb fowls. Okay. Students, you please observe the formation of gametes from it. This capital R gene is combined with the capital P. So capital R, capital P, a gamete will develop. The same capital R combines with the small p. So capital R, small p, a gamete is developed. So the chances of capital R is now over. Now come to the small r gene. This small r gene combines with the capital P, so a gamete will develop. Now the small r again fused with the small p also, so small r small p. This is also one more kind of gamete. Like that, four different gametes are going to be developed. If we imagine it as a female, so all are said to be female gametes. Here also the male gametes are going to be developed. If we imagine this one as a male, same kinds of gametes are going to be developed by this one also, because its genotype and its genotype both are same. Okay, now we will arrange all these gametes in Punnett square. We will see it now. Here, here is in this direction we are taking male gametes. In this direction we are taking female gametes. Here capital R, capital P, capital R, small p, small r, capital P, small r, small p, capital R, capital P, capital R, small p, small r, capital P, small r, small p. So this capital R, capital R, capital P, capital P, capital R, capital R, capital P, small p, capital R, small r, capital P, capital P, capital R, small r, capital P, small, capital R, capital R, capital P, small p, capital R, capital R, small p, small p, capital R, small r, capital P, small p, capital R, small r, small p, small p, capital R, small r, capital P, capital P, capital R, small r, small p, small p, small r, capital P, capital P, small r, capital P, small. Now this capital R, small r, capital P, small p, capital R, small p, small p. Now small r, capital P, small p, small r, small p, small p. Here, presence of two dominant non-allelic genes means they interact in a such a way they produce walnut. Walnut. Okay, walnut. Walnut. This one is walnut. Okay, walnut. Here, capital R is alone there. Capital B is not here. Automatically, rose. Okay, here, walnut, rose, walnut, rose. Here, P, P. Here, walnut. Here is rose. This one, this one. Rose, rose, rose. Here is capital P versus small p. Okay, capital P versus small p. It never be rose. It should be walnut. Okay, this one will becomes rose. This one will becomes P. This one will becomes single. Now come here. In F2 generation, the number of phenotypes are here. there always will be 4 only. They may be walnut, rose, pea, and other one is single. How many are with walnut? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 9 will be there. How many are with rose? 1, 2, 3. How many are with pea? P. 1, 2, 3. How many are with single? Only one. So this will be the phenotypic ratio. That is 9 is to 3 is to 3 is to 1 is the phenotypic ratio. Here, initially we took a rose comb fowl is crossed with pea comb fowl only. But in F2 generation, in addition to that rose and pea, we are getting walnut and single. So that is due to the interaction of genes. Okay. Now one more other example is available for this one. That is coat color. In mice. Okay. Coat color in mice. Here the ratio will be 9 is to 3 is to 4. Cassiel. Cassiel studied the inheritance pattern of coat color in mice. There are 3 varieties of coat colors here. One is a grey color, that is agouti. Other one is black color. Other one is albino. Agouti is controlled by 2 dominant genes. Capital A plus capital B, both dominant genes are needed for the developing of agouti color. Black is under controlled by capital B, a dominant gene alone. And albino, that character is going to be developed by a capital A dominant gene alone. Okay. Here is, he crossed a black male versus albino female. That is capital B, small a. Here is small b, capital A. This one is a parent generation. This one will be the genotype. And this one produces a gamete with capital B, small a. This one also produces a gametes with small b, capital A. This one and this one both are fused together to develop capital B, small b, capital A, small a. Here availability of 2 kinds of dominant genes are there. Automatically agouti A color will develop. That is grey color. Okay. Now to produce F2 generation, this one is said to be F1 generation. To produce F2 generation, we have to select 2 individuals from F1 organisms. That is a capital B, small b, capital A. Small a is now crossed with capital B, small b, capital A, small a. Now from them, capital B, capital A gamete, capital B, small a gamete, small b, capital A. Now small b, small a gamete. So this is a female, this one is a male, like female gametes and male gametes are going to develop when we arrange them in Punnett square. Here, male gametes in this direction, female gametes, capital A, capital B, capital A, small b, small a, capital B, small a, small b, capital A, capital B, capital A, small b, small a, capital B, small a, small b. So this one, capital A, capital A, capital B, capital B. Here is capital A, capital A, capital B, small b. Now here, agouti is dominant. Agouti is dominant. Agouti is dominant over black and albino. Black is dominant over albino and recessive to agouti. Recessive to agouti. Albino is recessive to both agouti and black. We have to remember this thing in this. Agouti always will be dominant over black and albino. Black is dominant over albino and recessive to agouti. Albino always will be recessive to both agouti and black. Now here, presence of these two genes immediately develops agouti. So agouti, 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 agouti. Here, white, that is albino. Okay. Capital A, small a, capital B, small b. Here is agouti. Here is albino. Here agouti. Here is agouti. Here is black. Here is black. Here is agouti. Here is albino. This one black. This one is albino. Okay. So how many phenotypes are here? Phenotypes. Here, three kinds only, three kinds of phenotypes. One is agouti, other one is black, other one is albino. Albino means here is white. Okay. Agouti, how many are here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So agoutis are 9 in number. Black, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Black. Now this albino. Actually, capital A dominant gene produces white color. Capital A dominant gene produces white color. Small b also produces white color, that is said to be albino. Albino is also nothing but white. So here is this albino is nothing but white. White. This is also white. Albino color also will be white. Okay. So how many are with white? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Here is black numbers are 3. Albino, that is white, numbers are 4. Agouti numbers are 9. So 9 is to 3 is to 4 will be the phenotypic ratio that was developed in this, identified by Cassill. Identified by Cassill. Okay. This is one of the example for supplementary genes. Now, duplicate genes. We will see duplicate genes. Duplicate genes means if a single character is controlled by two or more than two non-allelic dominant genes independently. So single character here is under controlled by two or more than two non-allelic dominant genes independently. That is said to be duplicate genes. Two non-allelic dominant genes independently. Okay. That is the definition for duplicate genes. Here, duplicate genes are observed by George H. Shell in common weed. Shepherd purse. Shepherd purse. Bursa pastoris. What is that? The common weed, shepherd purse, Bursa pastoris. In this, there are two varieties of seed cases are there. Seed cases are two kinds. One is triangular, other one is oval. Here, the triangular seed case is totally under control by two dominant non-allelic genes independently. If two dominant genes are there, they also produce a triangular seed case. If availability of single one dominant gene also produces the same triangular seed. Here, that character is controlled by two dominant non-allelic genes independently. Hence, it is said to be duplicate genes. Here, for this, 15:1 will be the ratio we will get. Now we will see about it. Homozygous triangular seed case Bursa pastoris is crossed with homozygous oval seed case of Bursa pastoris is crossed. From it, capital T, capital T, capital D, capital D. I think we are saying that two different non-allelic dominant genes are there. One gene here is capital T, other dominant gene here is capital D. Capital T alone produces that triangular seed case. Capital D alone also produces that triangular seed case. Even presence of both two dominant genes also produces the same triangular seed case. Here, small t, small t, small d, small d. Here, no one is available in form of dominant condition. Hence, small t, small t, small d, small d genes are not able to produce triangular seed case. Simply, they produce as oval seed case. So, these are said to be parental generation. This one is said to be genotype. So from them a capital T, capital D, and a gametes are with capital T, capital D are developed. From it, a gametes are with small t, small d are developed. It may be a female, it may be a male plant. Then automatically these two are said to be gametes. Both are fused together to develop F1 generation. F1 generation individuals are always with capital T, small t, capital D, small d. This is F1. Availability of capital T and availability of capital D both are there, hence automatically their seed cases are triangular seed case. To produce F2 generation, we have to select two individuals from F1 generation and made cross among them to produce F2 generation. So capital T small t, capital D small d, this one and this one capital T, capital D, a gamete, capital T small d, a gamete, small t, capital D, small t, a gamete will develop. Like from it also, same kinds of gametes are going to develop. You imagine it may be a female, it may be a male. So male gametes and female gametes both are same because both individuals are having a same heterozygous genotype in both of them. Now we will arrange them in Punnett square. I think it will be very easy. In this direction, we are taking male gametes. In this direction, we are taking female gametes. Okay. Here is capital T, capital D, capital T, small d, small t, capital D, small t, small d, capital T, capital D, capital T, small d, small t, capital D, small t, small d. Gametes. This one and this one, capital T, capital D, capital D, capital D, capital D, small d. Okay, capital T, small d, capital D, small d, capital T, capital D, capital D, small d, capital T, capital D, small d, small d, capital T, small d, capital D, small d, capital T, small d, small d, small d, capital T, small d, capital D, capital D. Here, capital T, small d. Now, capital D, small d, small d, small d, capital D, capital D. Now, small d, capital D, small d, capital D, small d, capital D, small d. Okay. Now, capital T, small d, small d, small d. Here, both small t's and capital D, small d, small d, small d, small d. Always gametes should be within a circle. So we have to keep all of them in circle. Now, at least the presence of any one dominant gene also produces triangular seed case. If both dominant genes are also there, then also they produces same triangular seed case. If no one is available, only the presence of homozygous recessive in condition, they alone produces oval shape. Okay. So triangular, 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 and oval shape. Here, how many phenotypes are here? Phenotypes only two kinds. One may be triangular seed case. How many are here? 15 are here. And oval seed case. How many are here? Only one is there. So 15 is to 1 is the phenotypic ratio of duplicate genes. Okay. Up to we completed non-allelic genic interaction. Okay. In the next video, we will see epistasis. Okay. Thank you.